So, this is a message for the national media. These are the guys that talk football. The national football writers, and, well, you guys know who you are. And before I start, 49er fans, please save me your dull-witted, dumbass comments, because I really don't care. I don't want to hear them. As a matter of fact, you guys say the same crap all the time, and really, it's quite boring. Anyway, now, the reason I'm making this video is because I'm tired of listening to the national media hype the 49ers to, gargantuan status when they're really not that good. Their defense and their offense, they're average. I've done some research, and what I found is in their previous 10 games, their first 10 games, they have scored a total of 250 points. Now, 147 of those points are coming via offensive production, touchdowns via the pass, touchdowns via the run, that kind of thing. Now, that's 14.7 offensive points per game. That's 14.7 points the offense is contributing. That's a lot of Phil Dawson field goals, and, the defense is playing well and, scoring points on defense, and, that's impressive if you're the defense. But, you look at that, 14.7 offensive points per game that they're contributing. 12.8, the defense is giving up 12.8 yards, or 12.8 points per game, their previous 10, including 310, and then the offense is putting up 310.9 yards offensively per game. The defense giving up 329 yards defensively, 321.9 yards defensively, sorry. And that's in their previous 10. Now, their 6-game winning streak, the one you guys currently think is going to propel them to the Super Bowl, their offense or their team, mind you, has scored a total of 159 points. 91 of those points have come via offensive production, via passing game, or via the running game, or, what have you. That's 15 points per game that the offense is responsible for. That's not a lot of points per game offensively. Now, you look at the 6-game winning streak, the defense has only given up 94 points. 94 points, which is 15.6 per game, and, that's actually down from 12.8 points per game from the previous 10, so, that's not a good thing if you're the defense. Now, during the 6-game winning streak, the offense is putting up 348.3 offensive yards per game, which really isn't all that impressive, considering that you guys seem to think that once they had Crabtree back, that they'd have this offensive explosion and be the 49ers of last year. They haven't been. I mean, they were more explosive last year on offense than they were this year on offense, and the addition of Crabtree really hasn't, shaken them out of this, offensive slump they've been in. They got a little bit better, but not much better. Now, the defense has given up 305.5 yards per game, which is down from 321, but it's 17 yards, give or take a couple of yards, and, that's just nothing to tip your hat about. That's actually kind of, it's top 5 in the league, but, when you look at the picture, when you look at the whole picture, it's really right in line with the rest of the league, considering, there's not much separation between the top 10 teams, the team at number 5 and the team at number 10. There's really not much separation there. So, it's really nothing, impressive. Now, you look at the month of December. 49ers in the month of December. That's supposed to be the money month. That's supposed to be the month where you're supposed to, do what you need to do, get into the playoffs, and get hot and peak and all that good stuff. Now look at the month of December. The team is scoring a total of 26.4 points per game. Now, 14 of those points per game are coming up via offensive production, pass, run, whatever. And then the defense is giving up 17.6 points per game, which is not special. They're actually regressing in that respect, and they're tapering off, sort of, if you will. which going into the playoffs doesn't really bode well for them, considering they're supposed to be this juggernaut, this great defense, this great offense, that kind of thing. Now, offensively, they're putting up 357.2 yards per game, which, again, is not that spectacular. I mean, considering, you know, most of that is from the running game, and they have one of the league's worst passing games. I think they're ranked 30th in total passing yards per game, which is really pathetic coming from last year, which really tells me that Crabtree didn't make the impact you guys thought he was going to make. Now, defensively, they're giving up 328.6 yards per game, which, again, isn't impressive. It's, you know, whole picture, it's right in line with the rest of the league. There's not, like I said, there's really not much separation from the number 5 team and the number 1 or the number 10 team defensively. I mean, it's give or take 17 yards. I think it's like give or take 20 yards. I really haven't looked at the stats on that, but it's not really much. Now, the reason I said that is to say this. This Sunday in Green Bay, I don't think San Francisco is going to win. I mean, call it what you will, but I don't think San Francisco is going to win because it's going to be very, very cold. And, you know, you guys can say that the San Francisco 49ers are tough and that they have a running game and that they have a great defense and that, you know, they're more accustomed and more built to withstand the cold, but really, at the end of the day, what that cold weather is going to do is it's going to wear the San Francisco 49er defense down a lot more. It's also going to do the same thing to the Packers to a certain extent, but I think because the Packers play in that weather a lot and, you know, they play a lot of cold weather games in December, that the Packers are going to be more prepared for it, more accustomed to it, you know, that kind of thing. And it's going to give the Packers an edge, just a slight one. Now, with that being said, I think the Packers, they're going to try and turn it into a shootout early. They're going to try and explode on offense early. You know, I think they're going to try and put it in their receivers' hands, score as many points as they can early to keep it from being, you know, a run game. Because if you go to a run game, that means your defense is going to be out there longer. That means your offense is going to be out there longer, and that means they're going to wear down quicker. And it doesn't really bode well for both teams. But, you know, given the fact that San Francisco has to go to Green Bay, it's not San Francisco. Okay, that defense plays in the confines of warm weather. I mean, the average temperature in San Francisco this time of year is about 60. I mean, I look at San Francisco weather and it's kind of like, it's a notch above Seattle weather. I mean, in Seattle, the average temperature this time of year is about 40, 50, give or take. But, you know, San Francisco plays in good weather in San Francisco pretty much year-round. So, you know, I don't think they can prepare for this. As a matter of fact, I heard the other day that they're practicing in short sleeve shorts, you know, summer weather, so to speak. Green Bay, you know, they live in this, they work in it, they practice in it, that kind of thing. So I think Green Bay is going to know how to prepare for it better. I think they're going to be more accustomed to it, more, you know, acclimated to it, if you will. And I think they're going to, you know, just be more used to it than the 49ers, because I don't think the 49ers can get past San Francisco. Now, I don't think the 49ers can get past Green Bay. I'm sorry. Now, if they come to Seattle, they can't win in Seattle. They've been outscored 76-13. So I don't know why you guys seem to think the 49ers could get past Seattle or, you know, get to the Super Bowl when they can't even get past Seattle in Seattle. I mean, that is going to be the most likely matchup next week if the 49ers win, because I don't see the Saints getting past Philly, because the Saints aren't a road team. They do all their damage in the dome, and that's just the way it is. But, you know, I honestly don't see San Francisco getting past Green Bay, because the weather is going to be more of a factor than you guys think it's going to be. I mean, I've been listening to NFL Network all day, and these players have been saying the weather is a factor. So it's just gonna depend, how San Francisco deals with it. Different people react differently to it, but I personally, knowing from some experience, know that cold does affect you, and nobody's gonna want to play in it. And San Francisco's just going to want to get out of there as quick as humanly possible, and I don't think their defense is going to be as effective as they would be if it was in, San Francisco. But anyway, with that, that's just kind of what I want to say. Anyway, go Hawks.